tomorrow on race day about the situation. So I will answer Kyle Busch questions. Yes, I was the last driver. You're right.
Okay, anyhow, before Kenny, you get into that, let's talk about the matter at hand. And congratulations, by the way, on making NASCAR Nationwide Series history today. You'll be making your 520th career start, and that breaks the record that you had shared previously with Jason Keller. You and Jason are the only two nationwide drivers to go over 500 career starts. And your first start came in 1988 in Martinsville. You finished 11th in a car owned by Dale Earnhardt. Okay? You got 9 wins, 10 poles, 65 top 5s, 170 top 10s, and you've been named the most popular driver in the Nationwide Series 3 different times. Combined starts across all 3 NASCAR National Series, 874 career starts, Kenny. Ranks 13th among all drivers. Your thoughts about your career-breaking effort here today and just being able to consistently be able to do what you do?
Well, I've been consistent on my comments, and I haven't been wishy-washy. I still am, thankful for my 10 years in the Cup Series with 344 starts. I'm learning all these stats now. To have been able to make a living my whole life has been a dream come true. It's no different than in the media center. I see a lot of you here, and I've seen you all come and I've seen you go, and I'm very grateful to have come out of Arnold, Missouri. And if you would have told me that you can make a living in NASCAR and that's all you're ever going to do, I mean, I've made a living driving a race car my whole life, and it looks like I will retire racing cars for a living. That's the perspective that I can put it into, and I'm thrilled to death. I'm grateful to all the car owners that have given me rides, and I'm really excited about today's race. We got a points battle going on for 7th spot, and it's been like that my whole career, all types of little races.
Okay, if you have some questions for Kenny, let us know. We've got a couple of wireless mics, and I'm sure Kenny would be happy to answer any questions anybody might have.
Before I start, I want to tell everybody a funny story. We got here to Texas, the home of the Texas Rangers, and my wife went into a store and she asked somebody, do you have any World Series stuff here? And I just thought that was really funny. She's too shy. Hi, baby.
Speaking of World Series, let's start with Lee. Go ahead.
Spencer Fox Sports out of Cardinal fan.
You had to get that in there like me, didn't you?
What's been your, what would you consider your shining moment in NASCAR? Because, a lot of times we've talked and we all know that you pushed the late Dale Earnhardt to his last victory. Anything personal besides that just really sticks out in your mind?
There are three things that stick out, and I think in rank, they would probably be, number 1 was 2001 Rockingham, when I relief drove for Steve Park, and at that time in my career, I was going downhill again. Steve Park got hurt and asked me to drive the number 1 Pennzoil car. Of course, at Rockingham in 2001, I sat on the pole in the Pennzoil Cup car and led the race all day long to get beat by Nemechek in a pit stop, and I finished 2nd. The day before, I qualified 2nd in the nationwide car and won the race. So the whole week was my career week. And I would say number 2 was, me and Rusty finishing 1-2 in the 1998 Bud Shootout. And then number 3 was definitely myself and Earnhardt. I've never been so famous for running 2nd in all my life. So those are the 3. And I guess number 4 would be, my 9 wins as late as 2001. So yeah, I'd say that's by rank. It's been a hell of a fun time. A lot of memories for sure.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Lewis.
Lewis Frank with Reuters, and condolences on Russ. I didn't get the chance to see you. The importance of, talk a little bit about the importance of a driver's relationship to a sponsor. You know, that keeps drivers in cars, especially in this economy.
It's a great question because I've been thinking about that exact thing all week. I'm just absolutely shocked with all these cup drivers losing their rides and they're winning drivers. You know, David Ruderman flat out won Chicago. I mean, you know, that was not a rain out like the Coke 600. So for Ruderman to lose his ride as the only Michael Waltrip Racing driver just goes to show you that it's not even about winning anymore. You know, it's about financial warfare, not welfare, warfare. You know, it's all war out there right now. So I fought a hell of a war my whole career. And I understood at an early age. Roger Penske taught me this, and I'll never forget it. He said, we don't race unless we have a sponsor. And I learned that at an early age. And I took that to heart. So the key to this is to keep sponsorship intact because it's a really expensive sport. So for all these cup drivers and all these teams to be shutting down, David Reagan just winning. I mean, he just won Daytona. But I've got two drivers that I'm thinking about that have won cup races as late as 10 races ago and are officially out of rides. So for David Reagan and David Ruderman to be out of rides because of no sponsorship, I think that's the feather in my cap that I understood that I have to find sponsorship. So I've went out and got them my whole career. And the examples are as late as here the last week.
Go ahead, Bob.
Bob Hocker, Sing Daily. You joked that you'll have a lot to say tomorrow. Do you feel like people are still recognizing you as a race car driver, or do they recognize you more as a TV person? And also, can you talk about what McDowell is going through? I mean, you went through a similar thing at Martinsville, just as far as having to pitch in and step in and race for a team that's, you know, was expecting somebody else was going to race the car, and then the guy got booted.
Yeah, number one, the last time a driver got parked, it was Kevin Harvick at Martinsville, and I was asked to drive the car by Mike Hilton. I was in Nashville, Tennessee running the nationwide race, and they said we parked Kevin Harvick for driving his truck up to the back of the NASCAR trailer and coming within an inch away of it. So the last time this scenario happened, you know, Richard Childress said, okay, they parked Harvick. This was in 2002, I think, or 3. And I drove the car the next day. And then the last time they parked the driver after that was Kurt Busch at Phoenix, and they asked me to drive the car again too. So I guess I'm the one that has the most experience at this, at parking drivers. The stats are there and they're all real. So the last 2 cup drivers that have been parked, I was the benefactor. I was hoping they'd put me in Kyle's car today. That was a joke, you know. But it looks like Mike McDowell's in it. You know, I'll have a lot to say about it tomorrow, but really, let me share a real quick story with you. I grew up in a hurry. I got black flagged in probably 1997 at Phoenix, Arizona. NASCAR black flagged me, and I said, screw NASCAR. And they said, tell Kenny Wallace to be at the NASCAR hauler after the race. And I said, no. Well, a week later, I was fined $10,000, and me and my wife wrote the check out of our account. Kenny Wallace Racing Incorporated. My hands were shaking. I literally wrote the check for $10,000. And they came real close to not letting me run the nationwide race at Miami Homestead. And Mike Helton said something to me I'll never forget. And this goes true to Kyle Busch. Mike Helton told me these words: I do not want to be the one to ruin your career. So when NASCAR president tells you, I don't want to be the one to ruin your career, they're serious about that. This is not a free enterprise here. Now the money is, but not the sport. There's rules just like Major League Baseball. And I compare this situation to a dog collar. Got a collar around you. They zap you once, they zap you twice, and they zap the hell out of Kyle Busch. And I think he gets it now, after 90 wins. So I went through all of this. I'm the king at this whole situation. I drove both cars that got, down. I've been fined. I've been told don't let me be the one to ruin your career. And they will ruin Kyle's career if he doesn't straighten up. They don't care if M&M's his sponsor. They don't care if he's in the race for the chase. They don't care that all his employees have lost their bonus money. They don't care that he took, Ron Hornaday out of the championship chase. There's major, major implications from this situation, and I understand them all.
Any other questions for Kenny? Kenny, again, congratulations on today's achievement. Good luck in the race, and continued best wishes.
I want to thank the major members of the media that are here that have stayed and asked me questions. We get into situations like this a lot, and everybody's just quiet. So for all of you legends like Lee and Bob, all of you that have asked me questions, it means a lot to me. Sometimes when a nationwide series driver comes in, everybody turns their head and they just keep writing their Kyle Busch story. So I understand it, I get it, and I really appreciate you all being here. And I'm going to be following this story as close as I can. But remember, when there's karma's a bitch, and I remember this: when you write this story, put it into that Kenny Wallace was the one that has the most experience at drivers getting parked. Thank you.